So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, as I've just mentioned, is the hidden sort of time issues. So a lot of that is admin and coordination sitting with the wrong person, tasks that have no processes set around them, and are being reinvented time upon time. A lot of the organisations, when we start working with them, there's no SOPs in place, there's no processes in place, and the leaders are carrying all of that in their heads. Which is, a massive pressure, not only because nobody else knows how to do it, but also there's no backup or resilience there. So one of the first things that we start doing is actually getting processes in place and documenting that. A lot of people shy away from creating SOPs and standard processes because it's just like, oh gosh, it's another admin task to do. But I've actually been using AI to do it. And I'll mention AI later. I know it's a difficult subject, particularly within the sector. But what I've been doing is I've created a tool within my AI that creates and writes the SOPs for me with quite a minimal amount of input. And once those SOPs are in place, it's so much easier for other people to step in. And then you've got that source of truth there if someone does need to pick up a task from you. So it's something worth thinking about if you are taking it all on yourself. Do you have the processes documented anywhere that you would be able to share with somebody? The other area is meetings. We do love meetings, don't we? Meetings for meetings' sake and meetings about setting up meetings. So, looking at your meetings process, can you change your calendar? I've recently changed my calendar so that it doesn't default to 30-minute meetings, it defaults to 20-minute meetings when I create a calendar appointment. And you can do that in Outlook or whatever system that you use. So it then keeps you more to time and you've got a 10-minute breathing space. So many people don't plan in time to work on the outputs of a meeting. Obviously, the best practice is to schedule in time after every meeting to debrief, go to the loo, get a drink, think about who you need to delegate the work from that meeting for. But we don't book that time in. So if you change your meeting settings, that will actually give you a little bit of a buffer to at least have a little bit of a breather instead of you being back to back all day. And also thinking about, does it need to be a meeting? Could it be a phone call? Do you really need all of those people in the room? Everybody's time is so precious and we're very quick to just invite everybody and require everybody to be a meeting when actually it could just be a conversation between two people. So also thinking about, who needs to be there and whose time perhaps could be better spent elsewhere. The other thing we try to implement is meeting agendas. So actually one organisation we've just worked in, they're insisting on a meeting agenda for every single meeting now. So not just board meetings and committee meetings. If you're having a one-to-one with me, I want an agenda. I want to know what you want to talk to me about and I want to know what you want to get out of it. And I will not have that meeting with you unless there is an agenda. That's what this client's just implemented. Feels really tough. Your time is really precious. And again, if at least you know what they want to be talking about, you can be prepared and you can get to the point pretty quickly. So that's something else worth considering. And then I also mentioned AI and automation within meetings. Is there anything that you can use within the tools and the platforms that you're already using that can help facilitate your meetings better? If you're taking a meeting notes, can you use an appropriate tool for that? Can you then set up an automation so the tasks from that go into your task list? It all takes a little bit of time to set up, but once it's set up, you can work so much more effectively if you just manage that piece around meetings. Another element around that is just the systems that you use, particularly with small charities. I often see that people don't have their cloud storage set up properly. They might be just using it on OneDrive from the CEO or founder's Outlook that they set up when they founded the charity. Everybody else is using their own email addresses. Nobody has a central resource or place of resource that they can go to get the information that they need. And one of the first things we set up, including trustees, is to have a dedicated charity email account. It's better for governance, it's better for access. And if something goes wrong, you know that for data protection and governance, you can just pull that email account back again. I know it's an extra cost, but things like Google and Outlook, they all have discounted or free, offers for charities. So I really would encourage you, if you're one of those organisations that doesn't have a dedicated email account for everybody and is working through a cloud platform, that you get that in place, because it really does make a huge difference. And then, the last sort of hidden time drain is being consulted on everything when delegation's possible. So, as I mentioned earlier, holding so much stuff in your head, and not delegating stuff. Some people are better at delegating than others. It takes practice. But I like to think of it as you're actually empowering somebody by delegating something to them. You're showing them that you trust them. You're showing them that you believe that they can deliver that piece of work. So it's not about, some people feel guilty for giving people things that they feel they should be doing, but actually try and switch that around, and think of it as giving other people the opportunity to own that piece of work, and deliver on it, because people do appreciate being able to take extra responsibility. So just a few things to think about there.